left-wing student campaigns have lost their bearings. There was that time, if many of you will remember, that the student union, the National Student Union of Students, the NUS, refused to condemn ISIS in a motion. They voted against condemning ISIS from fear that such a motion would be deemed Islamophobic. That's bonkers. I'll tell you what's Islamophobic, as a Muslim I'll speak, is not to condemn ISIS. That's Islamophobic. The first victims of groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda have been Muslims in those areas that they've come to power in. The women, the minority sects, the gay Muslims, liberal Muslims, secular Muslims, they slaughter them. It's Islamophobic, or let's be more accurate, it's anti-Muslim bigotry not to condemn ISIS. But the NUS failed to pass a motion. Involved in that failure was the now president of the NUS, Malia Bouattia. I think leftist activism on campuses has gone mad. There's another column in the Times today by Matthew Paris, who's a gay man, talking about how he no longer identifies with the LGBT solidarity campaigns by leftist student activists. The reason, he quotes, because it's getting out of control. This is a gay man speaking. He says, LGBT started as a very, very righteous and rightfully so movement against stigmatization against gay people. But now it's become so divisive. And he's talking about the additional acronyms that are being added onto this tag. So now you've got not just LGBT, LGBTQ, and then I, and there's a plus added onto it. Letters keep being added. And it's no longer a community in that sense. Isn't it all just going mad? Banning speakers on campuses. Speakers we don't agree with. Whether they be Israeli ambassadors or diplomats. Or whether they be people speaking out against Islamist extremism. Or, frankly, even if they're on the right wing of our political spectrum, just banning them because they offend us. That's going on campuses. And now there's this statue that's been removed from Queen Mary's and Westfields College, part of the University of London, which mirrors the campaign that Rhodes Must Fall, which was launched at Oxford University, defacing our historic buildings because they offend us. What next? Are we going to start demanding crosses get taken down from the York Minster cathedrals and from all of the churches in this country because they offend people like me because I'm a brown Muslim? Are we going to start insisting that we alter national heritage sites? Maybe I'm offended by the Stonehenge because it's a site of pagan worship and I'm a believer in one God. Yeah, we've got to take that down too. I mean, how absurd does this get? Where do you draw the line? Because a bunch of students decided to take offence. Offence isn't given, it's taken. And guess what, guys? Look, when I see statues of Richard the Lionheart, when I see statues of King Leopold II and Cecil Rhodes, I'm very well aware of their colonial history because I studied it. And so when I see those statues, it reminds me of the mixed bag of history and of the atrocities, yes, that they were involved in. But at the same time, it then reminds me that history is full of atrocities, and that's why we learn from history. And that's why it's important not to try and hide history and pretend it doesn't exist, but to keep it there, unedited, so we can all learn from it. What next? Shut down the monument to the concentration camps in Germany because their existence of all those gas chambers there where you can still go and see them. It offends Jews, it triggers them, so we're going to shut them down, pretend it never happened. That's the easiest way, the quickest way for it to happen again. When we try and erase history, we are erasing our memories and therefore erasing the lessons that we've learnt from history.